I will be recording this video so that they will access and they will still find ways to watch this video that we will be having. So much for the first law of inertia. So this time, sa second law na punta. So naadi ay two local laws, three laws of motion, si Sir Isaac Newton. Kaganina, we discussed on the first law of motion, which is focusing on inertia. Now, we are on the second. Sige, B, manawag na pud ko. Ganina, si Christine. Okay. Can I call Stephanie Loyola?
Acceleration, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Correct. The second law of motion talks about the law of acceleration. Sige. Unsa man ang law of acceleration if you can still remember. Be? Unsa gali to ang law of acceleration, ma'am? Sa inyo lang nadumduman. Be? Unsa gali to, ma'am? Ang law of acceleration? Review pa ni siya, ha? Review. Sige. So, according to Newton's second law of motion, which is focusing on acceleration of an object, focuses on its force and its mass also. Muna siya nga mga factors ang atong gina-consider. An object cause it to, a force upon an object causes it to accelerate according to the formula force is equal to mass multiplied by the acceleration. Katong F is equal to ma. Di ba? Force is equal to mass times acceleration. Kung ang object daw with its respective mass, kung naigi-apply nga external force anang object, of course, that object will accelerate. So, mo di ay na. So, again, let's go back to this example. Cellphone. Naa siya'y kabugaton, naa siya'y mass. So, para maulihok para mo accelerate si cellphone, so kinanglan siya o external force. Okay? So, mo din na siya. So, related lagi hapon siya sa first law. Only that, the focus of the second law of motion is on the movement, the acceleration of the object. So, we're not just talking about how fast, but also the direction of an object as to where it will go. Next, the third law of motion is, unsa gali to? Tulo man ka kabuok. Sige daw. Inertia ang primero, ikaduha, kuan, unsa gali to? Acceleration, unsa man ang ikatulo? Sige. 5 ragi. Tulo na lang nabilin. Nawala. Sige. The third law of motion, ako na lang dalion, is on the law of interaction. Now, the law of interaction here states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This statement means that in every interaction, there is a pair of forces acting on the two interacting objects. So the sizes of the forces here on the first object equals the size on the force of the second object. Now imagine, okay, this will be the best example. Have you tried yourself pushing a wall? Inyong kani ako kay dingding man ang nasa kong likod. Gitry ninyo inyong self nga itulod ang dingding. Wala, na-try ninyo, wala. Sige daw, you may turn on your mics and respond. Sige, gitry ninyo.
Try, ma'am.
Gitry. Daw, be. Grabe gid nga force imong gi-exert. Grabe nga pangusog. Nairog ang wall, wala.
Wala.
Wala. Kaya nga naman. Okay?
Kulang ang kusog.
Aside, yes. Sakto, kulang ang kusog. Another, the best term would be, ang kusog nga atong gi-exert is less lang, gamay ra compared sa force nga gi-exert pod sa wall. Moingon mga halamam, dili man na mulihok ang wall, na siya force. Of course, daan na siya force nga gina-exert labi na sa iyang kabug-aton. Okay? So, sige tagtulod kung dili pa enough ang atong force nga gi-exert, dili gid mo tarog ang wall. So the wall needs greater force for it to be pushed para mulihok siya. So kung gamay ra atong force ana, dili gid na mulihok. So ang uban na kay daghan kay ginagamit na mga machines, mga kwan in order to just break the wall. Kay if kwan lang, ikaw lang dili jud. So again, you will not be able, in this example, you will not be able to push the wall because you have a lesser force compared to that is exerted by the wall. So ingana na ang best example to explain the third law of motion by Newton, which is on the law of interaction. Actually, ang lessons of grade 8 for the first quarter will be focusing on physics. So aside sa laws of motion, we also encountered about energy. Tama? Energy. Na-discuss na siya atong sa tawag ani sa inyong PICAS module. I think it's on lesson 3 if I'm not mistaken. Lesson 3 or module 3, energy. So, unsa galito ang different types of energy? We have the kinetic and unsa galito? Kinetic and okay,
Potential.
the kinetic and potential energy. So, naa dito sa answer sheet na ay mga examples dito kung asa inyo siyang i-describe if it is if the object exerts kinetic or potential energy. Sige daw, quick sample lang nga unsa gali tong kuan kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Unsa gali ang kinetic energy? Unsa gali ang kinetic energy? Sige daw. Unsa pod ang potential? Anybody? Ang kinetic energy gali is energy in what? Energy in motion. Meaning galihok. That's energy in motion. That's kinetic energy. How about potential? Natay gitawag. Okay, kung naatay gitawag nga energy in motion which is ang kinetic, ang potential energy is energy at rest. Muna siya, okay? So kung ang object nagpuyo lang, that exerts potential energy. Pero kung ang object kay galihok, for example, the ball, nagdula mo o basketball or any ball games, of course, the ball exerts kinetic energy. Pero kung nahuman na magdula, gibutang na ninyo, gihipos ninyo ang bola sa usa ka safe nga lugar, then that ball now exerts potential energy. Nasabtan. And then the last module, I think, which was discussed in the previous lessons or in your previous module was about kung wala ko nasayop kay sound. About sound. Sound ba to? Dili ko sure. Let me check. About sound. Unsa gali to? Check sa nako kung sakto ba gyud ko be kay limtanon pod ni inyong teacher usahay be. Last ba? Ang module 4? No, sorry. It's the effect of temperature. Effect of temperature. Ang heat. Effect of heat to sa tawag ani to its environment. That's the 4th. Okay. So now, we have, if you have checked your modules already, so naatay 5 ka modules nga i-discuss karon. So sorry gyud sa mga dili maka-attend sa atong klase kay I think they will miss half of the lessons in the first quarter. So mag-discuss jud ko karon, wala dili na gid ko magpapugong, charot. Okay. So the module that you can find and in the modules that I gave you last Tuesday or Wednesday is about saan siya? About colors of light. Colors of light. Sige. I hope na sa inyong tapad karon ang inyong modules and your answer sheet. So of course, before we proceed to our lesson proper, na ay pretest or what I know diha sa inyong mga answer sheets. So you are to answer that on your answer sheets. Nara, what I need to know, na diri na mga objectives in our lesson. So let me just read it to you. Okay, so in this module, you are able or you are expected to demonstrate the existence of the color components of visible light using a prism or a diffraction rating. So, kung dili na to niyo ko makikita lang niyo sa picture, okay ra. And then you are also expected to explain hierarchy of colors in relation to energy and explain that red is the least bent color and violet is the most bent color according to their wavelengths and frequencies. Now, in our lesson, pre-test ninyo, what I know, I think, kung makita ninyo sa inyong module, na I think, 15 items. 15 is what I know or pre-test. Okay, let's now start with our first lesson, which deals on the colors of light. Sige. Okay, have you ever wondered how a majestic rainbow is formed? Kinsay wala kaila diri kung unsa ang meaning sa rainbow. Wala kakita og rainbow. Be? If I'm not mistaken, after the pre-test, sa inyong answer sheet, tanong ako ha, sa inyong answer sheet, you are asked there to draw and color the rainbow. O, ay, rainbow ha. And then, you are asked to color. Diba? You are asked actually to color the rainbow. So, B, who can tell me the different colors of the rainbow in order? Sige, press the raise hand button if you want to answer.
Colors
Sige
rainbow,
daw,
ma'am.
eh. Who can tell me the
What?
different...
Ala, nagbay.
Sige daw. Colors of the rainbow.
Ma'am, ang una, ma'am, kay red, orange, yellow, green, blue, o indigo, o violet din, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Oh, those are the 7 colors that are found in the rainbow. Importante gid kayo nga tanan ta kabalo unsa ang mga colors nga naa sa rainbow so that we will understand our topic this afternoon. So dapat ana ha. So be tanan man ta kaila sa rainbow. So kani on your answer sheet you are asked to draw and color. So I hope that as you answer your answer sheets na amoy crayons. Pwede mo manghulam sa inyong mga manghod kung og crayons. O, koloran yun na siya ha. A color in order. Itong red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The 7 colors of the rainbow. You are to color that. Next. After, so na yung mga activities, pero gipili lang ako ang mga activities. Okay. So color, we're able to get good sets of data from the activity. So, kailangan ta, when do we usually see a rainbow in the sky? Di ka na aman ta usually kakakita og rainbow. Makakita ba tag rainbow sa gabi? Makakita tag rainbow sa gabi? Yes or no?
No. No.
No, we don't see rainbows at night. Kada sa mga kakakita ang rainbow.
Ay, hala,
Tadlawon.
ulan, ma'am.
Paghuman og ulan, ma'am. Paghuman og ulan.
Oh.
Ulan, ma'am.
Daw mag-ulan sa gabi Mag-ulan sa gabi makakita lang kag rainbow.
Dili, ma'am, ay. Ay, hala na siya hapon.
Dili. Hapon or buntag or udto ana.
Oh. Oh. Basta mahuman lang
Basta
siya ulan.
after mahuman ang ulan. Okay, sige, padayon. So, kay makakita man tag rainbow after the rain, there's a rainbow always after the rain, matod pa sa kanta. So, important mo gid siya. So, light is a kind of energy that can travel through space in a form of a wave. So, light from the sun or flashlights looks white, pero it's really a mixture of different colors. So, mixture siya of different colors. The colors in white light are katong colors of the rainbow. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So, kung i-mix do na nimo silang tanan, ang resulting color ana is white. Okay? Dili black. White. Mixture of all these
Okay, ma'am.
colors of the rainbow is white. Okay? And then, we highlight here the arrangement of light, colors of light as Roy G. Biv. Dili pwede nga magkabali-bali na siya, Roy G. Biv. Remember this acronym, Roy G. Biv, which stands for the different colors of the rainbow. Okay? I-mute lang sana ako, ha? Kaya ang ako, aron ako rin madunggan.
Yes,
Sige.
ma'am.
When dispersion happens. Okay? So, naa diri gitawag nato ang dispersion, which is a kind of refraction which provided us colors of light. Nganong nagka-rainbow after the rain? Because the water there serves as your medium. Okay? Nga mo reflect ang light coming from the sky. Okay? So kung walay rain, kung walay ulan, dili gid nato makita ang rainbow. Mao na siya ang explanation. Okay? Kay nag-ulan man, meaning na ay water. There's an existence of a medium in the form of water. That is why there's a rainbow. Okay? So this phenomena is observed when white light passes through a prism. And that prism is example white. Na diri o? Okay. Nan ubay-ubay naman ta diri, manawag kog student to read us some sentences. Sige, manawag ko. Stephanie, please read the first sentence. Kaning a prism. A prism is sige ana. A prism
A
is
prism,
palihog ko.
a prism is a transparent optical element with flat and polished surfaces that disperses light.
Okay. So, a prism is a transparent optical element nga nasa flat and polished surfaces. Ang iyang tsura, usually, it has a triangular base and a rectangular sides. So, nadiri? So, prisms can be made from any transparent materials like glass, plastic, or fluoride. Water in a glass can also act as prism. Kaya di ba ang water transparent? Di ba nag-explain ko about sa rainbow? Oh, nag-explain ko kaganina
Yes, ma'am.
about sa rainbow nga mo-occur siya because of the presence of water. From which, in that case, water is a prism because it's transparent. Mo-reflect siya sa light coming from the source. Okay. So, it also breaks white light into constituent colors, meaning the Roy G. Biv. O nabaylo, B-I-V na siya, ha? You can see these colors when you look at a rainbow in our sky. So, a rainbow daw is caused by both the reflection and the refraction of light in water droplets on the Earth's atmosphere. So, mao di ay nga makita nato ang rainbow kada human sa ulan kay tungod sa tubig. Sa tubig nga naa. Okay, let's continue. Okay, the water droplets here serve as tiny prisms that refract, reflect, and disperse sunlight into spectrum of light appearing in the sky. So if you can see here on your figure 1, white light passes through a prism. If kaning white nga linya bitaw, ikita ninyo, if this is the light coming from the sun, niagi siya sa prism, kaning rectangle, ang paggawas nila ana is through the form of a rainbow. Okay? So, ingunan na. Next. You are now going to use again your crayons na ani siya sa inyong answer sheet. So use crayons to fill in the color spectrum and label the dispersed color. So unsa ni siya nga mga colors diri from 1 to 7? Unsa ka ni? Unsa ka ni siya nga mga colors?
Ma'am, pariha lang po na siya sa rainbow, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Oh. So, color sa rainbow in order. Gikan sa number 1 to number 7. Okay? Rainbow gihapon. So, color ha, koloran. Rainbow. To simply express that when white light is passed through a prism, then the resulting reflecting light from the prism is the colors of the rainbow. Okay, next. Bali na bulag-bulag siya, na disperse. Kay kung i-combine mo ni silang tanan, white man ang ilang resulta. Okay? So let's continue. O napagid o. So naa dire. What I have learned. Bro, wala na ako una na-apel. Hindi, check na ko. Apel ang what I have learned. Okay, next. What I can do, objective 4, wala na ko nag-i-appeal. Hierarchy of colors. So, in the previous, di ba, we learned that the colors of the rainbow should be arranged in order. Meaning, dili siya pwede nga magkabali-bali. So, in this lesson now, we will understand why this color should not be interchanged. Dili siya pwede ibali-bali. And that is because of their hierarchy. Naay meaning, naay but pasabot. Nganong ang mga colors kay dili pwede nga magka-baylo-baylo. And that is in terms of their arrangement in energy. Energy di ang pasabot. Now, which color of light has the greatest energy? So, each color represents a certain amount. Lag siya? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige lang, sige lang. So, wait. Okay, let's have 3 minutes. 3 minutes break. Kajut lang. I'll just try to fix my connection. 3 minutes break. You may drink water.
Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Hello? Okay ka na? Okay na akong connection? Maklaro akong tingog?
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, sige. We'll continue. So, which color of light has the greatest energy? So, we will see here in our next lesson ang unsay relationship between the arrangement of the light and its corresponding energy. Unsa day connection? Okay? So, here we have you are asked to write the colors of the rainbow that each letter stands for. So dili na nako ni i-discuss kabalo na mo unsay mga different colors sa rainbow. Oh, since kinder, memorized na unsay mga colors sa rainbow. Okay, next. Oh, para ganina na po. Use crayons to draw what happens to the beam of light when it passes through the prism. So, ana. Unsay may tabo, if there's white light and then iagi siya sa prism, unsa nga colors yata ang mugawa. So, you're asked to draw. Pero, murag wala yata na sa inyong answer sheet. Wala. Agi di ay ko. So, you are asked to draw. To color na lang, para diretso anaan, badlisan lang sa color. Okay, next. Okay, here you have seen here the table of the seven colors of the rainbow with its corresponding wavelength, frequency, and its photon energy. So, kung imo siyang i-compare in terms of wavelength, ang pinaka-mubo o wavelength is ang violet. O ang pinakataas o wavelength is ang red. Okay? And M here stands for nanometer, which is the unit for wavelength. And then THZ here represents terahertz, which is a unit of frequency. And as you can see in the column, second column, frequency, ang pinakataas og frequency is si violet. O, tanawa ang iyang value ranges from 675 to 789. While ang red, ang pinakaubos og frequency only have 400 to 484. And then in terms of photon energy, ang pinakataas kusog og energy si violet. From 2.8 to 3.26 electron volt. Si violet ang pinakataas og photon energy, while red only has 1.65 to 2.0. So diha pa lang nga table, makita ninyo ang relationship sa arrangement sa colors with its corresponding wavelength, frequency, og photon energy. Makita na gyud ana ang table. Now, question. Sige, kanibe, tagsa mong pangutana. Which color has highest frequency? Based sa table nga akong na-discuss kaganina. Sige daw, B.
Sa ma'am,
If you have your modules with you. Which color has the highest frequency? Pinakataas og frequency. Pinakataas og frequency.
Violet, ma'am.
Violet, are you sure? Okay, violet ba?
Ay,
Highest
red.
is violet. Highest frequency. Violet. Nara, 675 to 789. Violet ang taas og frequency. While ang pinaka-low og frequency is the color
Violet.
No, ubos. Pinaka-ubos og frequency. Red.
Violet, ma'am. Violet.
Red. Red.
Red, ma'am,
Langga,
red.
red. Pinaka-ubusan. Red man. Ha? Next question. Which color has the shortest wavelength? Sige, wavelength. Shortest wavelength.
Violet, ma'am. Violet.
Kung mubo ang kung taas ang frequency ni violet, mubo pod ang iyang wavelength. Same with red. The color red has the lowest frequency pero taas siya og wavelength. Nasabtan, you see the logic there? Sa wavelength, gikan sa ubos, pataas. Tanawa gali ninyo sa table. From 380 to 750 ang wavelength gikan sa violet to red. Sa frequency pod from highest to lowest ang arrangement sa colors. Pasabot kung taas ang frequency sa color mo ang iyang wavelength. So kung taas ang wavelength sa isa ka color, mobo pod ang iyang frequency. So there is what we call an inverse relationship between the wavelength and the frequency of the color. Nasabtan? So, sa question
Yes,
1,
ma'am.
which color has the highest frequency and the shortest wavelength? The answer is violet. Now, question 2, which color has the lowest frequency and the longest wavelength? The answer is red. Now, question 3, what did you observe about the wavelengths and frequencies of the different colors of light? Muna kung ganyan lagi ganina, as wavelength increases, frequency decreases. So as frequency increases, the wavelength also increases. Now, question 4. Do the frequencies of colors of light increase from red to violet? Tanaw ta diri bi? From red to violet. So pasaka siya, di ba? Increasing. Kaya naman ang red sa ubos. Ang red sa ubos? 400 to 484. Pagpadulong daw niya sa violet, meaning, ga-increase pod ang iyang
Yes,
value. Ga-increase pod ang iyang amount. So, the best explanation there is, yes, answer yes. The frequencies of colors of light increase from red to violet. The answer is yes. Now, what did you observe about the corresponding energy? So, tanan na po ta diri sa photon energy. Unsa na po ang inyong nabantayan? From violet to red, pasaka ba siya or paubos? From violet to red. Pasaka
Paubos,
or paubos? Okay, paubos
Paubos.
ang energy. Meaning, these colors, so among these colors,
Paubos siya,
ang
ma'am,
pinakataas og energy, ang pinakataas og energy is the color violet, while color red has the lowest energy. So see, simple explanation, why do the colors of the rainbow should not be interchanged? That is because these colors represent the different energy, wavelength, and frequency levels. Now, balik ko na kung pangutana, which color has the highest energy? The answer is?
Violet.
Violet.
Very good. How about the lowest energy?
Violet.
The color?
Violet, ma'am.
Red.
Violet.
Red.
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 Violet.
Oh.
Eh,
So, naulay nagtubag ang uban, siguro sa signal niya siya. Pero yes, you are all correct. Lowest energy is red, highest energy is violet. Okay, next. Sus, dagan na gid mo ma-answer ani kay naka-attend mo sa online class. Charot. Sige. Anadiri the frequency of light here, of the light wave refers to the number of waves that move past a certain point at 1 second. So, frequency, kato kung ginapag-istorya ganina, is generally measured in hertz, the units of cycles per second. Ang color has the frequency ranging from 400 trillion hertz to 750 trillion hertz. So, more itong THZ, terahertz, meaning that also represent a trillion hertz. So waves can also go beyond and below these frequencies, but they are not already visible to the human eye. Meaning, dili na makita sa atong mata. So katong makita sa atong mata, which are the colors of the rainbow, mao lang siya ang gi-apil adto nga range. Now, wave frequency is related to wave frequency. So the more energy, the higher its frequency. The lower the frequency, the less energy. Okay? So, nadiri violet has the highest energy, red has the lowest energy. So, dili lang nanto ikon. Kidagan patag lessons nga again. Okay. So, Nara, best illustration is these colors of the rainbow. Bongga. Colors of the rainbow. And
Yes,
if we
ma'am.
are to combine all these composed of the visible light with its corresponding wavelengths. So, nganong rainbow kay mauman ang makita sa atong mata. Okay, next.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, nara ang explanation. Na siya corresponding wavelength, frequency, photon energy, and of course, the speed of the light. So we have seen there figure 5, which represents the refraction of colors. Okay? So next, padayon na punta.
Okay, ma'am.
May mga question diha. So magbasa yung answer sa table kung sakto ba na or dili. Okay, na-report fill in the blanks to complete the sentences. So naagya po na sa inyong answer sheet. And then activity 9, okay, ang nadiri na sa answer sheet gihapon, you are to list down what is being needed. So you have to list the colors according to its decreasing wavelength sa number 1 and sa number 2 in terms of decreasing energy. And then number 3, you are to state the relationship among frequency, energy, and the wavelength of colors. Okay, next.
Yes, ma'am.
So, na yung mga additional activities. Okay, lesson 3 now talks about the bending of colors or refraction. Okay, so, na diri. Question 1 to 10, activity 11. So, you are to choose from the words in the box, fill that out here, kaning mga blank numbers. So, diya ninyo ang inyong answer. So, nadiri with its corresponding wavelength, na po gitawag nga index of refraction. The arrange from least bent to most bent. Kana bitong, kabantay mo anang lapis nga ibutang ninyo sa tubig kanang sa baso. Unsa mahitabo ana? Di ba mo siya nabali? Kisay nakatry ana, nag-kutsara. Gibutang sa baso, baso nga tin-aw ha. Nya pagbutang ninyo kay imbis straight siya, medyo na siya bali, di ba? Meaning light is refracted, meaning medyo bent or bent. The most common term there is called bent. Okay? Light is, the image is bent because of the medium, because of water. So, yun na ang pasabot sa refraction. So, these colors there, as you see on your screen, with its corresponding wavelength, naa siya'y kuanpod, index of refraction. So, na mga values diha, gagmay lang kaayo nga differences, but as you can see from the table, ang least bent, ang dili kaayo ma-refract nga light is ang color red, kay 1.512. Whereas, ang violet is 1.530. Meaning, that's most bent. So, kung violet ang mga objects, that it causes the object more to bend compared sa mga light other objects or other colors. Okay, next. Nadiri arrange from least bent to most bent. Napo diri ang modified true or false. You can write true if the statement is correct, but if false, you change the underlined or the highlighted word to make the whole statement correct. Okay, nadiri. This is an illustration about how light is refracted in a prism. Okay, nadiha, you have to read that so that you will understand more. Blue, indigo, and violet in terms of energy and frequency are the ones with the highest frequency and energy. These colors are the ones that bend the most. So kung taas na kuno ang iyang frequency of energy, pasabot siya po ang taas of possibility nga mag-refract or ma-bend when done through a medium. But since also red is the one with the lowest frequency and energy, so siya ang least bent. So dili siya ma-refract kaayo. O nara. Observe the illustration. So if the white light passes through kaning triangle, unsa gali tawag aning triangle? This triangle represents the prism. Okay? When a white light passes through the prism, it will refract. Tanawa gali, nabalik siya, di ba? Supposed to be dapat kung paana ang pakilid ang iyang kuan, pasaka ang iyang direction, dapat unta, pagtabok niya sa pikas, pasaka gihapon. Pero what happened here is that the bent siya paubos. That is what refraction is about. Okay? So, nadiha, red and violet.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the bending of the white light. So, from that illustration, you will now know unsa nga color ang naay higher index of refraction and the lower index of refraction. And this is also represented kung unsa nga color ang most bent or least bent. Now, question, what is the relationship between the bending of the colors to its index of refraction? Na the report,
Yes, ma'am.
next, what I have learned, you have to complete the blanks with the correct idea of the statement. So complete the statement using the correct term. Okay, next, what I can do, wala na siya. Additional activities, wala na po. Assessment, okay, this is now the last part of the first lesson. So na ay 15 items that you will be able to answer. Question so far. Nasabtan ninyo ang colors of light?
Medyo, ma'am.
So,
Kailangan siya diri, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige lang kay ako maning gi-record. Our online class this afternoon. Our online class this afternoon is actually recorded. So akong i-send ang recorded nga session sa atong messenger para matanaw ninyo balik kung naamoy time. Okay? So we'll now proceed to our next lesson, which is on heat and temperature. Okay, nakita kung saan nasa kong screen? Heat and temperature.
Wala, ma'am. Nakita, ma'am.
Kajot lang. Kajot lang.
Wala di ay, ma'am.
Wala man, ma'am. Wala.
Kajot lang yun. Nag-loading pa siya, ha? Kajot lang. Wait lang. Oh. Module 6, heat and temperature. O, Ana?
Ano, ma'am?
Naana, ma'am.
O, Nana. O, Nana. Sige, paday. You are presenting your screen. Wait lang. We are now on heat temperature. So, paspason na ko. Ganina, in the previous lesson, we discussed on energy, light, the different colors of the rainbow, and unsa ang iyang pasabot sa iyang kuan, explanation, nganong ingana siya, nganong dili siya makabali-bali, nganong makatag rainbow kada ulan. So kung nanay mangutana sa inyo, nganong rainbow man pag mag-ulan, nganong dili man siya makita sa gabi, so naano may ma-explain ana nganong naay rainbow after mag-ulan. Or kung naay mangutana sa inyo, mga manghod siguro ninyo, hala, pagbutan ako sa kutsara or sa lapis sa baso kay nabali lagi siya. So naamoy explanation ana. So you have learned that during our online class this afternoon. Okay. So sa module 6 naa diri ang what I know, which is also a multiple choice. So I think na ay 15 items ng mga questions, multiple choice. And another reminder, please, when you are answering the multiple choice item sa inyong module, please use capital letters, ha? Capital letters ang gamiton sa pag-answer sa modules. Okay, next. Okay, lesson 1, heat and temperature and the effects of heat. So we will focus here from heat transfer. Okay? First sentence, I'll read. Heat transfer from one body to another of different temperatures happened around all of us. Our naked eyes may not see the process, but we can see the effects. So we depend on these effects. So the heat we get from the sun, air conditioning, and cooking of food are just some processes or activities that involve heat transfer. Therefore, heat transfer is essential in our lives. Importante di ay na ay heat transfer, di ba? Naka-experience na imagine niyo ang inyong self nga dili magluto. Wala mo nag-need og kalayo magbukal og dili mo kuan, walay kalayo. Na imagine ninyo mabuhi ka mo og walay kalayo or walay heat? Yes or no?
No.
Dili, di ba?
No.
Oh,
Ita mabuhi kung walay
Kung-
kalayo, ma'am.
walay kalayo, walay init, di ba? Di ba kung magkulan gani kanang walay init ba kanang dag-om kanang bagyo magluya manggali ta, di ba? Magluya ta dili.
Yes, ma'am.
Magluya.
Yeah.
So kung manglaba po ta dili mauga atong mga
Magluya.
bulingon kung walay init, di ba?
Wala na sinina.
Oh, wala na isinin na masuot kay. Kung mauga manggali, dilisad kon kay mabaho kay wala ba na initan sa adlaw. Or kung mag-ihaw ta na fiesta, mag-ihaw tag baboy, makaluto ka tag sudan kung walay init or kung walay kalayo, dili, di ba?
Dili gyud siya, ma'am.
Dili. Oh, dili gyud siya. That is why yun ko kaganina, heat transfer is essential in our daily life. So part siya sa atong kinabuhi, ang heat transfer. So you have learned in your previous lessons that heat transfers from one body to another of different temperatures through the following. Number 1, conduction. Number 2, convection. And number 3, radiation. So muna siya ang mga 3 heat processes. Okay? Heat always moves from a body from high temperature to low temperature. Okay? Moreover, the conductivity of materials and temperature differences are some factors that affect the rate of heat transfer. So, people think that heat and temperature are the same. But in physics, though related lang siya, medyo related, but these terms are not the same. So you will learn the difference between heat and temperature, and you will learn more about heat transfer and factors that affect the amount of heat an object can absorb or release. Sige. This actually is a very interesting topic. So I hope you will listen. Okay? What's in? Naaga po ni sa inyong answer sheet. There's a heat word search here wherein you are going to find these words. Kani siya nga mga words, pangitao ninyo na siya from the puzzle. So, di ba? Ganan mo ana mga puzzle. Okay? Mga heat puzzle. That is, you are to find different terms that you will understand in this lesson from the puzzle. Okay, next. Okay, kinsay gi panghilana? Kanang naka-experience na og hilanat. Di ba tanan ta?
Ako, ma'am.
Tanan.
Tanan, ma'am. Tanan.
So, familiar tanan kung sa ang experience sa isa ka tao nga gihilantan. So di ba pag lain imong ginhawa or gilantan ka i-touch ni may mga tang. Init ba ko kung if just to check if nakakahilanat o wala. So you often use your hands or your sense of touch to tell whether an object is hot or cold, di ba? O say gali kay ang kahoy sa ato lang yung ka-curious, kabalo na ta nga init. Ato pa yung hawiran, di ba? Kabalo na ka nga init ang kalayo sa takuri.
Yes,
o,
ma'am.
hawiran nimo.
Gali.
Napaso.
Or, for example, before ta maligo sa buntag sayo, di ba, hawiran pa man ninyo, ay, init, ay, bugnaw pa man. Sa dili lang sa ta maligo, ay, butangan na itong ininit, kay bugnaw kayo ang tubig. Ingana, we often use our sense of touch just to know the temperature of a certain object. Okay? So kung magpaligo sa mga manghod nga mga bibis, kamot ang gamiton. Kung ready na ba ipainom ang gatas, kung kamoy suguon sa inyong mama nga magpainom or mag-prepare sa gatas sa inyong mga manghod, di ba? Yan na bagay sa kamot, be, kuan pa be, init pa ba? Ay, dili na. O sige, pwede na niya siya ipainom sa bata. Di ba? Ingunan ta? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ingunan na. So, when you are about to fry some food, kanang magprito, di ba, anakan pa din yung tubig ang mantika, kung mutingog, meaning bukal na. Di ba? Nagpabukal mo
Yes, ma'am.
mantika, kay magprito mo og saging. Nibukal na ba mantika? Anaan og tubig, be. Pag mutingog na gali, meaning bukal na siya. Okay. So, when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
feel you are warm, you often say you have a high temperature. And when an object is cold, you often say it has low temperature. Okay? So, temperature here is commonly associated with coldness and hotness of the body. So, ang temperature di ay is a measurement. Sukdanan kung unsa ka init o unsa ka bugnaw ang isa ka object. How do we can quantify this difference in the hotness or coldness of a body? So, kinsay kaila diri og thermometer? Thermometer.
Kami, ma'am.
Tanan ba kaila kung unsay thermometer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Kaila. Di ba para makabalong nga gilantan ka wala
ko,
kay.
ma'am.
Ibutang ang thermometer sa ilok, then pag mutingog na dayon gawas tanan nimo ay kanang above 37 meaning init ka, gilantan ka, or kung below 37 normal, wala ka gihilantan. Ingunan na ang kuan. Ingunan na ang explanation. Okay, so the thermometer there serves as your instrument in order to identify or measure your temperature. Okay? Next.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens to the temperature of the water when heated? So gisugo naman mo saan pagpabukal sa tubig, di ba? Unsay mahitabo sa tubig kung inyo siyang pabukalan?
Magbukal.
Uinit. Muinit, ma'am.
Yes. Pero muinit siya diretso or taod-taod pa?
Taud-taud pa siya, ma'am. Taud-taud pa siya. Kaya din siya mainit.
Taod-taod siya. Kung kusog ang kalayo, paspas ang pag-init. Pero kung hinay ang kalayo, hinay po ang iyang pag-init. Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, tama.
Okay. So, in the activity, as time elapses, the temperature of the water increases. So, the temperature of the water as it begins to boil is 100 degrees Celsius. So, you have to be reminded nga ang boiling point nga ang tubig, mubukal na gid na siya kung ang iyang temperature kay 100 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, boiling point na siya sa water. So, in layman's term, the temperature here refers to the measurement of the hotness or the coldness of an object. Okay? So, kung kay kabanta mo, pag mababukal mo og tubig, di ba, magbula-bula siya. O niya, kung mabukal na siya, paspas na din kayo
Yes,
yung
ma'am.
bula-bula. Meaning, there is a fast movement of molecules. Okay, fast movement of molecules because the temperature of the water is already adjusting to its boiling point. Okay? So, Ana,
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
how do you determine the temperature of an object? So, matanawan na ba ninyo? Tanawon lang? Tanawon lang, be, kuan. Di ba usually kay kung tanawon ninyo ang object,
Yes, ma'am.
dili ra enough nga makabalo mong init na siya, ay bugnaw na siya. Many times that we are to touch the object. Hawiran yun aron makabalo ta nga aka na siya init. Aka na siya dili kayo init. Aka na siya bugnaw. Okay? Padayon. So a thermometer here is a sealed glass tube containing mercury and an imprinted temperature scale. So yun na, okay? Ang nag-invent sa thermometer is si Ferdinand II. Okay, liquid in glass thermometer. Liquid in glass thermometer was invented by Ferdinand II in 1650. Okay. Kaya magsugba mo og kanang baboy or magsugba mo og isda. Pag human ba ninyo og sugba kay kaunon ninyo diretsyo ang inyong gisugba dili.
Dili,
Dili,
inay pa man.
ma'am. Dapat ipabugnaw pa siya. Dapat ipabugnaw pa siya. Ay, din
O di ba?
kaunon.
Unsa kay
Para di ka
mahitabo
mapaso.
magsugba mo. O di ba? Mapaso manggug ka kung pag human paghawas pa lang sa sugbahan kay kaunon diretso ba so asok pa ang imong gisugba mapaso ka diretso. So ipa-adjust pa ipakuan pa na nimo ipabugnaw, di ba? Ikuan lang. So you do not bite the energy the gisugba immediately, okay? So nadiri caloric fluid which flows from hotter to colder objects. So nadiri. Heat is produced from molecules of matter that continuously vibrate. Therefore, heat is an energy form that transfers from a body of higher temperature to another body of lower temperature. Now, once heat is released or transferred, it affects the internal energy of the body. For example, ice. Ang ice, bago gigawas sa ref, di ba bugnaw kaayo, gahi kaayo? Di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
O, bagong hawas ang ice gikan sa ref. Inyong gigawas. Di ba ang ref kay bugnaw man gid na siya. Kay inyong man gigawas ang ice sa ref, meaning gi-transfer ninyo siya from one cold place to a warmer place. So of course, kay nigawas naman ng ice sa ref, nag-adjust siya sa temperature nga naa sa gawas. Okay? What happens now to the ice paggawas sa ref?
Nalanay.
Malanay siya, ma'am. Basta madugay-dugayan siya pagkuha sa ref.
So kung dugay siya magawa sa ref, nahimo na siya og
Water,
tubig.
ma'am.
Oh. Oh, sakto.
Kumagalag ka.
Heat is nag-adjust ang ice. Nahimo na siyang tubig. Okay? So that affects now the internal energy of the body. So when we say internal energy, it's the yes? Hello? Okay. So, let me continue. Internal energy is the total energy in a body. Thus, it includes the potential and kinetic energy of the molecules or atoms in an object. So, one unit to use when measuring heat is in joules. The standard unit of heat is in joule, J, capital J. Okay? Calorie is not used to measure heat, but measured to food, energy content of food. Okay, let's proceed. The temperature scales. Naay tulo ka common temperature scales. And what are these? What are these three common temperature scales? Raise your hand if you want to answer. B. The three common temperature scales are number 1, Celsius, 2, Fahrenheit, 3, Kelvin. So, kana siya tulo. So, when you are asked about your temperature, mangutana ko, pilay mong temperature karon. Kung motubag ka og ma'am 36. Nimayin ko, unsa na nga 36? 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 36 Kelvin, or 36 degrees Celsius. So, these units are used to measure temperature. So, dapat, pareragot anang magpalit kag bugas. Ayo, palit kog bugas. Pila man, isa. Mga na din ang tindira. O saan ang isa? Isa ka kilo, isa ka sako, usa ka gramo, unsa. So we have to be specific. We have to be precise in terms of measuring temperature. Okay? So, nadiri mga history as to how Kelvin, Celsius, and temperature are being used in in measuring temperature. Unsa kanis lang nga mga scales ang gigamit. But we will not focus on that. Okay, na mga solving dire. O nani siya, problem solving. So you have to study this. Dali ra siya ninyo masabtan. Okay, napod tayo gitawag nga phase change. Phase change? Unsa nang phase change, ma'am? Nara. When the temperature of substances changes, its molecular structure and movement also change, which is resulting to phase change. Okay, balik na punta sa ice. Sige, ang ice. Di ba? Kung igawas ninyo sa ref ang ice, mahimo siyang tubig. Di ba? Water, liquid water. Now, kung imong ibutang ang tubig sa ref, di ba kay gikuan siya kanang gibutang nimo siya into a colder temperature. Okay? So what now happens to water? Kasi may tabo sa tubig kung ibutang nimo siya sa freezer. Ibutang nimo sa freezer ang tubig. Unsay may tabo? It will become what? Yes. Yes, katong nag-raise yan, nagamit sa account ni Sunny Boy. Yes, unsa man. Unsa kaha ang mahitabo. Then, it will become ice. Mo-solidify siya. Mo na siya ang gitawag nato nga freezing or solidification. Okay? Ma'am, dili ma-open ang mic. Okay. Okay lang. Next. Paggawa sa ref. Paggawa sa ref, nahilis na po siya balik. So, nibalik na po siya og liquid water. Now, gisugo ka sa imong mama nga pabukalon ang tubig. Unsay nahitabo? Nya, kay gisugo man ka sa imong mama nga magpabukal og tubig. So, nagpabukal ka. Then, it reaches its boiling point at 100 degrees Celsius. So, nibukal na ang tubig. Dabi, kinapa may line gisugo si mama sa imo niya. Imong nabiyaan ang imong gipabukalan. Unsay nahitabo sa tubig? Sige, Kimbo. Unsay nahitabo kung mabiyaan imong pabukal ang tubig? Okay, let's have Christine. Christine. Muhubas. O, pwede na mag-type sa messages kung dili ma-open ang mic. Okay ra. Okay, ingon si Christine, muhubas. Okay, correct. Muhubas in English is called evaporation. Meaning, after some time nga nagsige og bukal ang tubig, eventually it will evaporate. Muhubas siya. So, heat is absorbed and then now water is converted into vapor. Water vapor into steam. Kaya di ba magbukal-bukal, mag-aso-aso. So that is now evaporation. The amount of heat needed for a liquid to evaporate depends on the boiling point of the liquid. So when water vapor releases heat, its gas state changes to the liquid state through condensation. So, inguna na. Which accounts for the formation of clouds in the water cycle. So, na mga times, di ba, kung kayo sa udto, mga na din ka nga ay maulan niya unya hapon. Kusog kay ang ulan niya hapon. Nga lang nakusog man ay init mong kay ganina, maunang ulan ganina hapon. Meaning to say, grabe ka taas ang evaporation rate sa noontime sa udto mo nang pagkahapon nag-ulan og kusog kaayo. Mo na siya ang explanation class. Okay? Oh, kusog magod kay alang init kaayo karon bay mag-ulan na gid niya. So ingon na. Okay? Tungod anang evaporation. Pagkahapon mag-precipitate na dayon. Mag-ulan na dayon. Okay, in addition, sublimation, another process. Sublimation is the process of transforming a substance from the solid phase to gas. Okay? Nadia po, deposition is the process of a substance from gas to solid. Okay, daghan ni mga processes. I hope you could each read this one. Okay, napoy gitawag nga thermal expansion. Oh, you have to read this. Heat capacity and specific heat. O nandito ang specific heat of common solids, liquids, and gases. May balan ninyo diri asa ang dali ra mainit, asa ang dugay mo init, ang dugay mahilis, okay? So as you can see, metals dali ra siya mo init kay dali mo siya mo-absorb og init. Mo nang explanation nganong ang atong mga kaldero kay puthaw. Kay dali ra na sila maka-absorb og init. Okay, you are to use these terms here and fill this here in the blanks. Ibutang ninyo diha. And then for activity 2, you have to write true or false. Next. Wala na ni. What are the units of measuring temperature? Na diha, katong tulo kabuo. And then, kaganina, explain si Celsius, si Fahrenheit, o si Kelvin, diha, different, on say, iyang temperature difference, you can see that actually in the module. Okay, next. Na mga problem solving. Sige. You can explain that by browsing the module. Nasa modules actually. Okay, next. This is the explanation of phase change. Temperature versus heat. So when a certain object undergoes a phase change, so natay gitawag nga kani nga process. Kung mahimo siyang solid, di ba? Kung ang tubig ibutang sa ref, so imo siyang gipabugnaw. So from liquid phase ato siya sa ubos. Nag-ubos siya kay nag-cool down man siya. So mo siyang ice. Pero kung ang liquid imong ipabukal, meaning at higher temperature, so nadiha boils, then it will become a water vapor or gas. Okay, next. So nadiha ang explanation. Temperature increases during melting. So this illustration will help you answer these questions. Okay. Kana? Wala na ako nang giapi. What I have learned, okay? Na crossword puzzle, ang inyong answer sheet. So you are to answer that using these definitions find here. Na-puzzle. What I can do, okay, true or false. And then assessment. 1 to 15 man yata ni. Okay, 15 items, multiple choice. Okay, additional activities. Kani. It's actually a concept map. What you're going to do is to complete this concept map here using these terms found in the box. So, wrong spelling is wrong. Okay? Kinanagod sa box. Na nasa box ang answer, igo na lang ninyo ibutang sa concept map. Okay? Sige. Pangutana the next modules. Okay, module 7. Dali, pas na ni. Na yung mga, dahil dili maon ang mic, ma'am, kaya akong gi-mute. Wait lang, akong ikuan. Wait lang. Get everyone. Okay. Get out. Try daw on inyong mic, mga anak.
Nana, ma'am.
Okay na?
Pwede na, ma'am.
Okay. Sige, this time, basic electricity. Basic electricity. So, we will discover this kanang especially sa mga kuryente. Dealing sa atong balay, di ba? Pas masabtan nato nganong kinahanglan ta mag-save sa atong kuryente o unsa the purpose ana niya, okay? Nganong kinahanglan mag-amping ta ana. Okay, basic electricity. Okay. Okay, starts with what I know. Multiple choice test gahapon. Okay, it's 15 items multiple choice test. So, okay, we'll start with the explanation on Ohm's law. So, atong previous lesson is about heat and temperature. Now, we have learned that heat energy flows from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. So, the flow there ceases when both
Yes,
bodies
ma'am.
reach the same temperature. Similarly, pareha po na siya sa kurinti. When an electrical conductor is connected to different electric potentials, a charge flows from one end to the other end of the conductor. One of the best conductors that we know is the wire. Di ba? Kung walay wire, kay dili gyud na mo siga imong suga. Or kung walay kurinti, dili na mo
Yes,
siga, bahala
ma'am.
ka. Oh, di ba? So without potential difference, there is no charge flow as well. Sige, padayon ta. Okay. So in basic electricity, we will encounter what's an electric current. Okay, electric current here is the rate of flow of electric charges from one point to another in a circuit. And current here is measured in amperes. It's the flow of charges. Okay? So, mathematically, electrical current is given by I is equal to the charge which is measured in coulombs divided by second. So, di na kayo na ko naikuan ha. Kay another term when talking about basic electricity is a voltage, which what makes a current move. Kung, for example, kung walay kuryente sa inyo ha, di ba, naman kay flashlight. Naa kay flashlight, o niya, naay
Yes, ma'am.
corresponding voltage ang flashlight. Okay? So kung weak na ang battery sa inyong flashlight, meaning wala na siya voltage. Nahurot na. Or for example, cellphone. Pasensya akong cellphone kay keypad. Oh, akong cellphone, pag low-bat siya, meaning wala na siya charge, wala na voltage, wala na power, meaning mapalong siya, di ba? So, muna siya ang importance, ganang na ay voltage. Okay, that makes a current move. Okay? Usually, voltage is used to measure power of certain substances. A most common example that carries voltage is an automobile battery. Kani siya nga battery nga nasa figure kay murag battery sa unsa man. Battery sa sakyanan, di ba? Sa jeep. Di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, battery. Battery. Figure 1 is a 12-volt automobile battery kanang sasakyanan. Ikaduha is also an electrical symbol. Kung mag-drawing sila, that's an electrical symbol of a 12-volt battery. So we know that batteries and generators are the primary sources of voltage in an electric circuit. Kung walay kanang kuryente, walay battery, muandar ka na imong appliances, di ba dili?
Dili gid siya, ma'am.
Oh, dili. So the electrical resistance of the wire now depends on its thickness, length, and conductivity. So thick wires have less resistance than thin wires because thick wires have greater cross-sectional area for the electron to flow than thin wires. Munang sa internet kay kinahanglan fiber. Nganong fiber man? Kay nipis ra man ang iyang wire. Kung nipis ang iyang wire, mas dali ang internet, mas paspas ang internet compared to wires nga mga baga kaayo. Mo na ang uso karon. Okay, fiber. Fiber kay nipis ang wire. Pero longer wires have more resistance than shorter wires because they have longer path and then for the current to flow. Copper wires are best examples because they have less resistance than steel wires. Okay? Copper has a higher conductivity than steel. So kung inyong abrihan na ang mga daan nga wire sa balay, unsa na? Ito na yung present NG Kimbo, what's that? Okay. Sa tawag ani? Kung inyong abrihan, inyong mga daan nga wire sa balay, makakita mo, bronzy daw kung na bronzy. But that's not actually bronzy, but it's copper. Okay? Nasabtan ko?
Yes, ma'am.
Nasabtan, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, wait
Yes,
lang.
ma'am.
Have you, nakita ninyo akong presentation class? Kay kinsa nga presentation
ma'am.
ang naa?
Kang Benji, ma'am. Wala pa may kita,
Okay,
ma'am.
kana.
Naman, ma'am.
Kana.
Si Benji, ma'am.
How about that?
Wala, naunsa man na.
Kana. Na nagpinot manggod.
Naunsa,
Ha?
naunsa man na imo, Benji.
Okay, about this. Ako,
Ano, ma'am?
ano nakita?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nakita na ninyo? You also follow on your module. So
Ma'am.
the best source, so the best example of wires is ang copper wire. So nadiri, conductivity is the property of matter that allows current to flow. The higher the conductivity, the more current can flow. Electrical resistance also depend on temperature. At higher temperature, atoms are violently vibrating that can result to greater collision. Okay? Muna na ang electrical resistance is measured in ohms in honor of Simon Ohm. Next. Okay. An electronic device that is designed to resist the flow of current is called as a resistor. Di ba, kung mag-abri mo og mga appliances, na ay mga motherboard, for example, radyo, cellphone, abrihan ninyo na ay motherboard. Daghan kay murag mga beads. And those are actually resistors and capacitors. But let's just focus on the resistors. So, an electronic device that is designed to resist the flow of current is known as a resistor. Muna siya ang nasa figure 3 with its equivalent symbol in figure 4. Kung imo siyang i-drawing, muna na ang iyang itsura. Okay, next. So, a resistor can also be a light bulb. O kana, suga, as shown in figure 5 with its equivalent electrical symbol in figure 6 that will convert the energy that was moving the electrons into heat and light. Okay. Di na natin ikuan.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, book. Okay, here. Let's focus on Ohm's law. Magpupuhon, you will encounter Ohm's law. So, Ohm's law here, in a simple circuit, voltage is directly proportional to current. Unsa na, ma'am? So pasabot, kung taas ang voltage, taas pod ang current. Kung taas ang voltage, taas pod ang resistance na kinahanglan. Okay? So, we have here some examples.
Okay, ma'am.
Find the resistance. Okay, solving. So, tunaan ninyo. Dili na kayo mag-solve ninyo kaya medyo lisod-lisod. You may understand that also. You may look for videos that will help you understand more. Okay, kanay drita, activity, voltage, current, and resistance relationship. So what will happen to current if voltage is decreased by 1/2 while resistance is held constant? Diba ningon ko, pag ubos gali si voltage, si current mo, ubos. Kung 1/2 ang giubos ni voltage, muubos pod og 1/2 si current. Okay? Next, what will happen to the current if resistance is doubled? So current na og si resistance compare. What will happen kung si resistance daw kay di-doubled while voltage is kept constant? So you will still use Ohm's law for this relationship. So what will happen is kung mo-double ang current, ang resistance, si current mo, ubos po siya ma-half. Okay, next. Wala na ko ani. Let's skip that. Okay, Tara.
Ma'am,
Question.
lagyan sa ako, ma'am.
Lag sa imo? Sige lang, na may video, ani. Sige lang, let us just continue.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry ma'am, medyo gid siya lag.
Okay. Sige, padayon ta. So here in what I have learned, you
Okay,
have to
ma'am.
provide what is asked. You have to write your answers on your answer sheet. So you state the relationship of current, voltage, and resistance, and that is by the use of Ohm's law. Ohm's law, mura na siya. And then, kuani mo, what is the product of resistance and current? What is the quantity if voltage is divided by current? Okay? And what is the electrical quantity if voltage is divided by resistance? Next. Okay? Assessment na dayon, 15 items, multiple choice. Okay. Then, humanata sa Module 7. Now, let's proceed to Module 8. So, I will share now screen on Module 8.
Okay ma'am.
Wait lang. Gamay na lang, dali ra kayo na eh. Kita na ninyo? Module 8 now focuses on the electric circuit. Okay, electric circuit. You are now presenting your screen. Okay. Okay, starts also answering what I know. Murag pila yata ni siya ka items. 15 items gapon nga multiple choice. Now, we will now differentiate the advantages and disadvantages of series and parallel circuits. Okay? Series of parallel circuits. Kinsay na ay Christmas light sa balay? Di ba hapit na Pasko? I hope you have started decorating your homes. Di ba? Kinsay na ay Christmas light sa ilang balay? Di ba?
Na ako,
Makabantay mo kung inyong ipasiga ang Christmas
Wala
light,
amo,
di ba?
ma'am.
Musiga sa tanan. Oo. Musiga sa tanan, di ba? Kung imo
Yes,
sa
ma'am.
siyang ibton, ibot sa tanan. Di ba?
Yes ma'am.
Meaning, these Christmas lights are connected in series connection. For example, another example, ang kuryente sa balay, mag-on ka og ref, pwede ra nimo siya palungon. Ang suga, pwede ra nimo siya palungon po. Bali dili siya dungan. Meaning, these appliances at home are connected in a parallel connection. But before we proceed to series and parallel connections, let us discuss first the basics of an electric circuit. Now, a closed loop through which the current can flow is called an electric circuit. Now, for a continuous flow of electrons, there must be a complete circuit with no gaps. Meaning, na kay wire, na kay switch, na kay power source or a battery or may kuryente, and your object. Now, kung putol, meaning open ang loop, kuryente, na kuryente mo agi, wala. Wala.
Unsa to siya ma'am? Unsa to siya ma'am?
Oh, for example,
Unsa
di-connect
siya, ma'am?
nimo ang kuryente, ang wire, ang battery or ang kuryente bakaha, ang imong suga ug ang switch. Wala na tarong og connect. Muon imong suga dili.
Dili.
Dili,
Dili,
diba?
ma'am.
Dili. So, in other words, your electric circuit must be closed in order for it to have continuous flow of electrons, meaning musiga imong suga, kung suga ang imong gi-connect. Now, the gap here is usually provided by a switch. Muna na ang purpose. Muna na ang reason nga nung maon ang suga, mapalong ang suga, i-on na po di mo balik kay ang switch ang ga-control ana. Kung, for example, on ang switch, meaning ma-close ang circuit. So, meaning, ma-on siya. Kung imong i-off ang switch, Meaning to say, there is no closed loop. Open siya, therefore, ang imong kurente mapalong. So the flow of electron here starts from a negative terminal of the battery where there are abundant negative charges to the load, to the electrical switch, and back to the positive terminal. Then, see kung picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Picture. Okay, isa. Nambarag na aliri. Wait. Nara. This is the best example of what a closed circuit is. Kaning battery, di ba, na plus o minus, bisag sa mga gagmay nga battery, di ba?
Yes,
Ang
ma'am.
plus star, dapat diri ang plus, diri ang minus, di ba? Oh. So, ang kuanda ko, no, ang kurente starts from the negative. Negative daw nga side. Then ay arrow, di ba nakita ninyo? Na ay arrow going to the suga. Tama? Tanawan ninyo, observe. Going to the suga.
Yes, ma'am.
Ay, no. Isa, balik ko ha. Isa, naglibog ko. Okay. Asa tanawan na to. Asa una mo agi ang kurente. Negative. The flow of electrons starts from the negative terminal of a battery. Sakto dito ang illustration. Wait, nara. From
Okay, ma'am.
the negative source na ay arrow, di ba? I here represents the kurente. Okay, the kurente. Na ay arrow diha na ay kaning connect sa ila represents the wire. Dayon pag humani, connect siya sa light bulb, di ba? That's number 3, light bulb. After dayon, adto din siya sa number 2 which is the electrical switch. Okay? Then balik din siya sa plus which is now the battery. Inguna na ang connection niya. Okay? So, ingunana di ay, ma'am. Wanong muon siya? As long as naakay switch, naakay light bulb, naakay wires, of course, naay kurente coming from your power source. In this illustration is the battery. Let's continue. Okay. Here in the Philippines, most electric circuits at home have a voltage of 220 volts. Mo nang kung naamoy mga appliances, mangutana din mo be, 220 volts ba na siya? Kung kay kuan na ba diri 220 volts, kung less than 220, butog 'yon. Mubutog yun ang appliance. Dapat mo fit siya sa voltage, standard voltage nato diri. And then, the amount of current a circuit carries depends on the number and power of electrical devices connected to the circuit. So, home circuits have maximum service drop current of 60 amperes, but for safety purposes, what is supplied for every voltage source is from 15 to 30 amperes lang. So, dili kay siya nga na, para dili mga kurentihan, pastilan. Okay? So, muna siya explanation. Now, here are the components of the electric circuit. Dimension na nako ganina. Voltage source. Examples of these are battery, generator, wall socket, and electric outlet. So, muna siya atong mga voltage source. Mag-charge ta sa cellphone, mangita ta og wall, kanang saksakan, di ba? Oh, dito na tayo saksak aron ma-charge nato ang atong mga cellphone. Of course, dili po siya ma-charge kung walay charger. Tama? Unsa man ang nasa charger? There are
Tama, ma'am.
conducting wires. Naisaksak nimo sa imong charger, i-connect nimo sa imong saksakan. Okay? Those are conducting wires. Are special kinds of conductors where current can pass through easily. There is a corresponding safe amount of current that can pass through for every size, thickness, or cross-sectional area of conducting wire. So it is important to consider the dimension of wire to be used when connecting a number of loads in a circuit. So dili dapat kanang dili nimo iusa sa usa ka saksakan ang mga appliances kay aron dili mag-overload. Ha? Careful mo ana, labi na ka
Okay,
nang
ma'am.
sa balay. Ay, diri. Rep ang isa, plancha ang isa. Ay, avoid that. Kay para dili mag-overload ang kurente. Butugid ang resulta ana gyud. So careful. You have to be careful. Okay? Labi na pag ang wire nga gigamit kay medyo nipis. Medyo dili
Okay,
kuan, pang
ma'am.
heavy duty. Labi na pag extender ang gigamit pero ang gi-connect kay rep kuan sa tawag ani plancha, washing machine, kuyawa na eh. Okay? Careful mo ha. Reminder. Next is what we
Yes,
call
ma'am.
the next component is the electrical switch. Oh, it's a device that can control the entrance of current. So when it is turned on, closed ang circuit. Ginganon ako kanina. And current can pass through. So when it is off, the circuit is open and current cannot pass through. And then of course, your electrical load. Okay, it's a electrical device that converts electrical energy to heat, like in the case of electric iron. May bala nimo kung naka-on imong plancha kay unsa man. Nabala nimo kung naka-on imong plancha kung mo init na, daba? Init na ang plancha, meaning naka-on siya. Oh, so meaning
Yes,
to
ma'am.
say, the electric energy is now being converted into heat energy. Na nasa sa plancha. So that's the role now of your electrical load. And to light and heat, like in the case of a light bulb. So mabala nimo nga ay neon na ang suga kay nisiga siya. Naay kurente. From electrical energy, it is now being converted into light energy. Nasabtan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next. O, nara. Ako na ning next yun ganina. Okay. Identifying circuit connection at home. So, na ay TV, na ay kuan, na ay cooker, na ay daghan kay appliances. Okay, kini Christmas lights. We shall now explore two types of connections. Series connection, may taog series, it consists of one loop. Meaning, kung nakakonect siya sa usa ka loop, tanan, imo siyang i-on, siga siya tanan. Kay one loop raman siya. Okay? So, this is best explained here. Nakakonect siya on, isa ra ka wire ang negative to positive. Okay? Wa man ang nakakonect na electrical load, R1 and R2, pag imong i-on na siya, tiga na siya tanan. Kung imong i-off
Yes,
na siya
ma'am.
tanan. That explains what a series connection is. Next. Okay, Nadiri, you can read that from your module, the different properties of a series circuit. O narao. Kani siya this time is a connection with 3 light bulbs. Bisan pag pila kadaghan ang electrical load or light bulbs sa inyong ibutang. Pero kung usara ang iyang loop, that is still connected in series. Kung i-off nimo ang switch, off na siya tanan. I-on nimo ang switch, on na siya tanan. Question. Ma'am, dawi ma'am, sa
Okay.
tulo ka connection kay, gitangtang nako ang isa. Sa tulo ka suga, gitangtang nako ang isa. Unsay may tabo? Best example
Katura
to
siya
that would
maupang,
be the
watang
Christmas
gitangtang.
lights. Kung series ang imong connection, mga anak, kung series gali, kung imo siyang tangtangan og isa, ma-open ang circuit. Meaning, kung tangtangan nimo siyang isa, dili na mo siga tanan. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Kay series man siya, one loop raman. So kung tangtangan nimo nag-isa, palong na sila tanan kay na-open naman ang imong gitangtang. Okay? Careful ta. So nara. So that's Ohm's law. Kaya siya explained when in a series connection. Okay, na mga advantages diri. I hope you can read that on your modules. Advantages when using a series connection. One path lang. Okay, disadvantages na adira. Okay, next, parallel. Parallel circuit has 2 or more loops. Okay, a simple parallel circuit diagram of two loops is seen in this figure. O nara, lahi na nga connection o. Lahi nga switch diri sa R1, lahi pod nga switch sa R2. So, if one loop of this one is kanang gitangtang, dili mapalong ang isa. Kaya nga naman, lahi man iyang connection. Lahi na pampod na nga loop. Dili pareha sa series nga kung imo siyang tangtangan og isa, dili na moon tanan. In this case, in a parallel circuit or in a parallel connection, pag matangtangan nimo og isa, siga gyapon ang uban. Okay? That's one advantage. Now, in a parallel circuit, if one light bulb burns out, the other light bulb will still work because current can still flow. A common example of a parallel circuit are the electrical wirings at home. That is why ang atong mga connection sa kurente sa balay must be connected in parallel. Kaya nga naman, para kung magpalong ka sa imong ref, on paghapon ang uban. Or kung gusto ka nga mag-electric fan nga off ang suga, pwede ra. Kung i-on mo ang suga, unya palong ang TV, pwede ra. Kay kung series na siya tanan, mga langga, palungon nimo si ref, palong na tanan. Okay? So again, it is important that we should connect all our connections, electrical connections at home in a parallel circuit. Next. Naapo diri ang different properties of a parallel circuit. So, imo na siyang basahon. Okay? Na diri pod advantages of using parallel connection and also the disadvantages. Okay? Na diri, what's more activity 3? You have to use modified true or false, meaning to say, kung true ang statement, write true. If false, you change the underlined word and change it into the correct one to make the statement correct. Now, nandiri po do, fill in the blanks. You have to use the correct term that is being described in the blank. Okay, another is, okay, narao. Activity 4, you are to answer that. Okay? And assignment 1 to 15, multiple choice. Additional activities, I think, murag wala na ako nigi-appeal. Okay, questions. Last one. Last one. Kamay na lang, mura kayo ang last. Last one would be, gansigid kayo ang wala naka-appeal sa online class karong hapon. Dagan di sila wala na tun-an. Sayon rani siya kung naka-attend mo sa online class. Nakasabot na mo sa lessons class?
Nakasabot ma'am, pero naiuban na dili na ako masabtan kay lag.
Sige lang, kay i-save lang ako ning video. O gana ta mo link para makatanaw mo again.
Okay, ma'am.
Makatanaw mo again.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
Sige, padayon ta. Last one is safe electricity application. Have to be very careful in terms of using electricity, labi na sa atong mga balay kay mga peligro nga pwede mahitabo kung dili ta kabalo mo arrange or mo mag-amping sa atong mga kuryente nga mga connection sa atong balay. Okay, now we are on what I know. Lagi di walang katapusang what I know nga 15 items multiple choice. Pre-test mo na siya. Okay, now electrical safety measures and devices at home. So, dapat kabalutaan niya, electricity, if not properly installed and not properly used, could mean injury, harm, or even death. Masunog ang balay. Pila na ka-instances nga, nasunog ang balay ni Kuan kay tungod sa electric faulty wiring. Naay ni botong appliances. So, mo na siya, safety measures that we should follow to prevent injury, or an untimely death. And what are the electrical devices that can protect us from a sudden surge of electrical energy? Okay, so nadiri activity 2, advantages and disadvantages of series and parallel circuits. Okay, basahon gid na siya. Naibalita diri, electrical misuse is #1 cause of fires in Cebu City. So you have to beware of octopus connection. Unsa din ang octopus connection, Ma'am Clau? Kanang bitong sa balay na ay kuan, saksakan, nagkuha ka og extension wire, kay layo ra sa imo ang kuryente. So nabutang ka extension wire, i-connect nimo, so na-extend. Daw be kay kulang pa man gihapon. Nakita na sad kag laing extension wire. O i-connect na sad nimo. Antod siya moabot sa imo. That is an example of an octopus connection. Okay? Substandard Christmas lights and cooking fires that go that go unattended. So these are some of the reminders of Bureau of Fire and Protection. Okay, nadire.
Okay, ma'am.
Plugging several devices refers to an extension cord with multiple outlets. Kana pod, kanang saksak sinagol nga mga kuan, octopus connection gyapon na. This poses overheating or an electrical overload. Maka mo nang mubuto, mo nang magkasunog. And this usually is done basta ting Pasko kay kanang mga Christmas lights. So, they have to remind that playing with matches and candles can do away with the use of octopus wiring. Illegal connections. Okay? Bawal gyapon na kay makasunog, overloading, wiretapping, kana, electrical hazard. You have to read that. Okay? Basahon na siya, maaron mas masabtan. Na fatal current, okay? Electrical alternating current is more dangerous than AC. Na faulty electrical wiring. Those are common incidents. Short circuit. Kadunggan nga nung nag-short circuit. Na yung mga instructions dire. Grounded circuit. Para dili ka mga kurintihan. Labi na pag mga appliances ng mga kusog kay mukaon og kurinti. Okay? So, nara. Electrical safety devices such as circuit breaker, fuse, AR, okay, UPS, earthing and grounding, dapat na ay sakto nga pagkabutan or di magprintihan, double insulation, and okay, nara. What I have learned is na atay 7 items diha nga fill in the blanks, and then nara, I think appeal ni siya sa inyong answer sheet. Electrical hazard at home is the conducting wire safe to be used, and how you should suggest ways on how to keep your family members at home safe. And then, assessment na dayon. Modified true or false. Write true if the statement is correct and change the underlined word if the statement is false. Okay, additional activities. Murag wala na ako niya apilyata. Okay, questions. Humanatan. Okay. Thank you so much for attending our online class this afternoon. Palihog kog ingon sa inyong mga classmate nga kung unsa sila kabibo sa GC. Grabe gid kasaba inyong group chat ay
Sila
Taba
na may
kayo ang
sikat,
group
ma'am. Talagsan ako gatchat. Ayan ako na ako
sige.
pangutana.
Kanang sigig saba-saba sa GC mo, wala na noon nag-attend. So, please turn on your cameras for a picture taking. I will give you 50 points sa atong kuan. Sige, be, palihog ko on sa camera. On sa camera tanan. Asa man kinsa ning nagamit sa account ni Sunny Boy? Sunny Boy, kaimahan, palihog ko on. Tagtanga sa inyong face mask, be, please lang.
Excuse ma'am. Ay, excuse me, ma'am. Dili man na
Sige,
siya Sunny Boy,
ready.
ma'am. Angel na siya, ma'am.
Nausap ang kuhan nga lang.
Angel Kimbo.
Giusap sa Angel
sana?
Kimbo, ma'am. Sunny Boy,
Okay,
nakabutang
okay.
ambot, ma'am. Murag ilis doon. Huwag
Sige,
ko
on
kabalo.
sa angkwan. I-change lang. Sige, okay lang. Sige, tanaw tatanan sa
Okay.
camera. Thank you for attending our online class this afternoon. In 3, 2, 1, and isa pa. 3, 2, 1, and wala nagtanaw si Benji. Benji Kimbo, balik. Hello? Okay, again. 3, 2, 1, and Okay, thank you so much for attending our second online class for the first quarter. See you in our next schedule. A reminder, you have to submit your, kano sa ang gi-announce sa inyo nga schedule sa pag-uli sa modules? Wala gi-announce? Next week, basta kay next week. Ipasa na ninyo next week, okay? Bye-bye!
Bye,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye! Sige na, you may now leave the group chat. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.